Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck Spotlight. My name is Tommy Wave, and today we'll be taking a look at Filthy Casuals, Voltaic Fury Shaman, which I guess you could call kind of a mid-rangey overload elemental shaman. Got lots of really interesting elements in here. That's why I wanted to take a look at this deck, and I think it's also doing a lot to make the most of a card that I love, one of my favorite cards from the most recent expansion, which is Thunderhead. So let's take a look at what we've got going on. Jen, how are we doing? Speak of the devil. Gosh, just dropped by. So we've got a lot of really early game removal here. We've got the zaps, we've got the lightning bolts. This will help us take out these key targets. Anything that's hoping to snowball out of control, things like Light Warden, Mana Worm, that kind of stuff. Also got the Fireflies and the Voltaic Burst in here to suit both our Elemental and our Overload theme. Voltaic Burst is one of the new cards. 1 mana summons 2 1/1 sparks with Rush. So these combine very well with cards like Earth and Might to buff up a card, and if it's elemental, give us a little bit more value. And particularly Flame Tongue Totem, combining this with Voltaic Burst is just a lot of removal, 2/3 power, rush minions, get on the board and start doing some damage. We've also got Elementary Reaction, one of the new cards as well. Draw a card, copy it if you played an Elemental last turn. So hopefully we can start copying some of our really high value threats that we do have quite a lot of in here. I also got a one of Stormforged Axe. Be interesting to see how this goes, but I can get behind a nice early weapon to start doing some damage. Going into this thick 3-drop slot, we've got Electra Storm Surge, legendary from the new set. Cast our next spell twice, so we can combine this with the single target removal that we mentioned before. Lightning Bolt can even go face. We've also got cards like Lava Burst to also go face. Big 10 damage there. Lightning Storm for the board clear, but no Healing Rain in here. I think that's one thing that I would like to have, just a one-of Healing Rain. Or at least some of the, what are those 3-drop elemental boys that heal us? The Hot Spring Guardian. I've also got a one-off Tar Creeper in here, and most interestingly, Unbound Elemental is a great proactive play for us on turn 3, and does threaten with all these Overload cards to get quite scarily big. Moving on, we've got the Thunderhead in here. As we mentioned, this is a new card, 4 mana, 3/5, so reasonable stats, is an elemental, and after we play a card with Overload, it summons 2 1/1 sparks with Rush, so the same thing as Voltaic Burst, so the same synergies go with that, with the Flame Tongue totems and that type of thing, and also combines really well with Zap, so we can turn 4, drop it, zap a minion, get 2 sparks, maybe trade again. Really interesting card there. 5-drop slot, we've got the Bloodlusts combined, which incentivizes to create quite a wide board. I don't know how I feel about 2 Bloodlusts, but is something we'll keep an eye on, whether we need the 2 or whether we can start cutting these. We've also got Earth Elemental in here, just this big, huge-bodied boy, 7/8. You know, any decks that rely on that don't pack up any single targeted removal, so Zoo Warlock, something like that. Earth Elemental is going to be a real big stone wall for them to get through. Speaking of stone, we've also got the Stone Sentinel in here, card that haven't seen in a while. It's 7 mana, 4/4. If we played an Elemental last turn, we summoned 2/3 Elementals with Taunt. So once again, just a nice wide board, and keeps our opponent behind with those two Elementals. Interestingly, I'd wonder if Giggling Inventor is just better than this. Who knows? We've also got the Stormbringer in here, another incentive to go nice and wide. Transforms all our minions into random legendary ones, so we can start turning these Fireflies and these Sparks into hopefully something a little bit better. And to top things off, right on top we've got Calamos, the Primal Lord, which will help us either get back, creating that wide board, summoning the 1/1s, maybe finish our opponent off with the 6 damage, a bit of healing in there as well, so nice and varied. So the things we'll be keeping an eye out for, if we do want that extra healing rain, some extra healing in here. If we want to maybe try and play a card like Storm Chaser, given that we do have 2 Bloodlusts and a Stormbringer, maybe even just one of these can help give us a little bit of value, just a little bit of value, so we can grind out those other mid-range decks or those aggressive decks. And as we mentioned, we'll keep an eye out if we do want these Bloodlusts, if we do manage to get our board to go wide enough, and things like that. So we'll jump into some games and see how we go. Alright. Shaman Mirror.
For the Frost Wolves.
Interesting. Really interesting selection here. I'm not too sure how I like Voltaic Burst, especially as a proactive play. I think we'll keep the Unbound Elements. We'll try with this. The mulligans here are going to be pretty interesting. Filthy Casual does. They have included a mulligan guide over on Hearthstone. They do recommend always keeping Unbound Elemental, Zap, and Lightning Bolt. So we got one of them right. That's right. You were mentioning Monster Apocalypse to me. So my experience with Monpoc was that it was a game that a lot of people were really hyped for. That unfortunately just kind of died a death. You know, it didn't see a lot of support from the creator, I guess was the main thing. And that was ages ago. Yeah, strategy game used to play as Kaiju. Yeah, the miniatures were pretty well made from memory.
Pain speak to me.
Well, I didn't really want to, but I guess we'll get the Flame Tongue Totem out to stop this thing from drawing too many cards. Oh, it's a reboot. Okay, that's interesting. They're going to treat it as a strategy game more than a tabletop game, so maybe we'll give it a second life. I mean, the premise is fantastic.
Let the pain speak to me.
Indeed.
I wonder.
I'm not sure if we've built enough of a board that will kind of coax a volcano out of our opponent. That's what we're trying to do. The miniatures are good? Okay. I'd believe it.
How long can this go on? How long can this go on? I should meet you.
Shall we make a storm?
Planning to get MEO to see Soul Calibur. Ah. Since I can't do a Shoryuken in Street Fighter. Hey, Shoryuken motions are tough. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Truth is found in death.
Ugh. Being thoroughly dunked on here. Interesting they value Both these bloodlusts just not doing what we want them to do. You can coin out this Calamos next turn though. I'd rather focus my mental energy focusing on zoning than remembering button inputs. Yeah, I think that's a very common complaint. I know I felt the same when I was basically when I started playing any fighting game. Double Earth Shock. Well, if we take the elementals and they don't have removal, we might actually have a line to win with Electra Bloodlust. Huh. How much is this? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus. So this is 6 times 3 is 18, yeah, so
Lightning can
Electro
strike
Bloodlust.
twice.
There you go. Sometimes they don't have it. Da 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 da.
The forest fights back.
Okay, up against Druid.
Doomhammer.
So I guess we'll take Filthy Casual's advice here and keep the Lightning Bolt. Even though I think Lightning Bolt against Druid might be pretty weak. Not a lot of early targets. Oh no, Jen, did you have a tough day? Tough day, long day? Bolt the Bird. See if our opponent has turn 1 Enchanted Raven, a card not in the format. Ooh. 4 damage. Yeah, we'll go for the Unbound Elemental here. Especially with Feral Spirit. This could represent a nice tempo play. Work finishes at 6. Oh my gosh, 40 minutes to go. Jai, oh my gosh, all the cuties are up in chat. Oh! Where does this Firefly go? On the inside, right? For our Flame Tongue placement, because we most likely want to trade this off. So we should try and keep those minions in the middle with those higher value ones on the side. 5, what do you got? Nourish. That lets you Spreading Plague next turn. So let's go Flame Tongue Lightning Bolt. Gives us a whole bunch of damage. Press F to pay respects to our opponent last game. Yeah. How we doing, Joe? How was your how was the rest of the Twitch meetup that I missed?
What if?
Did you meet any of your heroes? Oh, they didn't have Spreading Plague. How curious.
What to do?
And we won't totem just because if our opponent was slow rolling the spreading plague, we don't want to get extra blown out by it. Hung out with Bunny Pot, it was lit. Well, she's a very lit person. So I do not doubt that. Castlevania and Metal Gear Solid bants. Well, I'm glad someone can talk those things. Metal Gear Solid is not exactly in my wheelhouse, I would say. Most of what I know comes from watching speedruns. It's nice to be able to chill out. Thanks for letting me haunt. Gosh. You are such a haunter. I think we save this. Or are we just playing another Earth Elemental next turn? How much are we going to have? Yeah, we're probably just playing another Elemental next turn. Placement's terrible. You can always way toasted. That's not my definition of toasted. Top 3, Metal Gear Solid 3, Silent Hill 2, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, not 2. It's very interesting.
I wonder.
I don't know about Tony Hawk Pro Skater. What's the UI? Just turn. Oh gosh. Look at you two. Oh, 2 doesn't have... Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 doesn't have manuals. Do we want to just double up on this Earthen Might? Can we lethal our opponent? Axe to kill this, and this is 8. Our opponent's on 12. We're 1 mana off. Let's just diversify our threats and give us some value in case we need it. I think 2 had an amazing soundtrack. Yeah, I think maybe that's why I remember it more. Do you think in general you remember games that had good soundtracks more than you remember games that had bad soundtracks? I think I do. Like, you could like, if you ask me if Crazy Taxi was actually like a well-made game, I wouldn't really know. But it had a banging soundtrack. Jet Set Radio. Maybe that's what. How do you feel about that, Stefan?
Yo, Stefan!
Do you think we should add some Jet Set Radio sound effects? Spellstone. We can deal 3 to everything with Calamos. Help us clear this board. We could get the Thunderhead out.
What to do? By the elements combined! I'm warning you. I'm unstable.
Lightning!
Ooh. Crazy taxi.
Hey, come on over. Happy forward.
Rabble.
Taxi.
What? Our opponent has all the things. Do they have an answer for this Calamos though? Yekio, how you doing? Hello, cute guy. Oh, you treat me too well. Too kind. We're playing some of this interesting kind of mid-range elemental overload Shaman.
Shall we make a storm? Shall we make a storm?
Job's done.
Okay. What is Silver Gunner? I realized as soon as I said that, I was like, if this is some Ligma thing, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Essence.
Masterful.
Yukio, I'll probably craft an Odd Rogue later today. I think we might play some Odd Rogue later. Because I think that's the deck that I want to do some laddering with.
Thunderstruck. Thunderstruck.
Cool.
Job done.
I guess this is a fine selection of things. Are we dead? No, we're probably pretty dead, hey. I totally missed that they only had one charge of that twig left. Yep. Got the other one. Yep. Well played to our opponent.
You win this one.
Just a turn too slow. A turn or two. We probably could have played better around like spreading plagues and things like that, but interesting matchup.
For Doom.
Okay. So, I think we'll keep the Firefly and the Lightning Bolt. We don't know what our opponent's going to be. We've seen a massive variety in Warlocks lately. But the Firefly is definitely something we want for the early game. Lightning Bolt is a bit of removal. But yeah, Yekio, I think I'm going to do Odd Rogue. I want to play with that the Odd Rogue list that has Myra's Unstable Element.
Welcome to Oblivion. I thank you.
Because I really just want to see how good that card is in that deck. Positive vibes only, yes. We'll have no negativity in here, thank you. Okay, our opponent can be quiet, please. Did we play an elemental last turn? We did not. Our opponent just tapped? What does that mean? I linked Thomas Silvergunner this morning and he was like, this made me groan as soon as I opened it. Oh. Now I understand. Ugh. Yucky doomsayers. Fortunately, this is a really good Hellfire for our opponent. So maybe we should have just tried to lean back into things, but against Control Warlock, I don't think we're doing too well. I hate Doomsayers. Well, never raid me then, because our our raid message is just full of Doomsayers. But yeah, I also hate Doomsayer. Oh, yuck. Not the best card to get a copy of this matchup. Or I'm totally wrong, who knows.
Shall we make a storm?
Yes, let's make a storm. Hooray, we made a storm. Get out of here! Giggle at this, nerd.
Me hungry.
Oh no. My lightning bolts. Go on, get out of here, boy.
What to do?
We're so likely to get blown out by a board clear.
I wonder.
So this means that we don't get killed by Godfrey, because there's no 3s or 4s. We do get Twisting Nethered. No. Jiroku just woke up. Welcome, welcome. Doing a bit of a impromptu Tuesday stream. We'll probably be doing a nice long one as well. So keeping it pretty chill. Electra Storm Search, hey? I think I just take my Stormbringer now.
Job done.
This is good. At least a good upgrade on stats. Hopefully it forces our opponent to do something about this Ixlid. But yeah, we're playing an interesting mid-rangey, overloady, elementally Shaman. And so far it's been a pretty good mix, I think. We've seen a lot of the really powerful interactions of the deck.
This will be a mess.
Ah, they did have the Godfrey. That's pretty good.
Sharing a storm.
Hmm. 4 plus 9 plus 9. So we do actually have lethal with Electra Bloodlust, but not through one of these bad boys.
What to do?
We probably die to a Gul'dan anyway.
Lightning can strike twice.
Why didn't we get the second set of elementals off, I guess we didn't play.
There's little time.
That kind of sucks. I thought we would get a second set of elementals off the Thunderhead, that's why I just attacked. But, unfortunate, a little bit punished there. You got the Hellfire? Defile. Come on, Calamos, off the top. Is this the first deck we've played so far? No, we just finished before we played an odd secret mage with like with subject 9 and like a whole bunch of secrets. And we actually, I think we went 2-1, which was slightly surprising. I think I wasn't expecting such a good run from that kind of deck. And we're certainly not getting through the second Void Lord without any hexes in the deck. So, unfortunate, a couple of misplays there as well. So a little bit frustrating. So we got to try and get our get our game face on and get back in the net. Okay, we are here with the deck. Overall, I think this was a really interesting deck. It's kind of fun to play a deck that's got so many like little interesting elements here with a lot of these one-offs, a lot of these interesting outs to certain decks. We didn't find out if we liked these two Bloodlusts, though I'd like to try a build where we play just one of these Storm Chasers and one Bloodlust, as well as the Stormbringer. I think Storm Chaser really gives us like another great proactive 4-drop that we can deploy, and I don't think we ever really want to hit two Bloodlusts in one game. We only ever want to hit one and have it be that final killing blow when we do manage to set up a wide board and our opponent doesn't have an answer for it. The other card that I was not terribly impressed by was Feral Spirit. I think just that Overload 2 was just a little bit clunky, although having the Taunt minions was pretty useful. So I think this is a card we might want to cut down on, maybe try just playing the 1 and find some room for, like we mentioned, those things like Healing Rain or maybe even those Hot Spring Elementals, something like that. But other than that, big shout out to Filthy Casual for the deck. It's a fantastic one that I'll definitely be experimenting with more in the future. If you are watching this video on YouTube, all the links will be down in the description, including a link over to the Hearthstone article. So jump over there, give the deck a +1, and leave a lovely, thoughtful comment. All my links are also down there as well, so you can go hit me up on Twitter or wherever you'd like if you've got a sweet deck you want me to check out. And until next time, stay wavy.